I spoke to an official at Anchor Point in Del Barton, and he says, quote, "We're drowning in the state of West Virginia." Now, this case has grabbed the public's attention, and I talked to the assistant prosecutor in the case, and he says what happened to Belinda is unique to other murder cases. We have an update on the state trooper that was shot this morning in Lincoln County while responding to a domestic violence call. The trooper, who has not been identified yet, is undergoing surgery right now at CAMC General. 10 firefighters know they have a dangerous job. They head towards a crisis most of us would run away from. But their biggest threat is a danger they can't see: cancer. We'll get to our top story in just a moment, but first we do have breaking news. One person has died following a mining accident in Raleigh County. Let's continue our coverage in Greenboro County, where some teachers decided to protest closer to home. 59 News reporter Casey Gentile is live in downtown Lewisburg this afternoon. So Casey, tell me, what are you seeing and hearing from teachers in your area? Sea of red in Lewisburg. All right, Casey, thank you. Well, meanwhile, in Raleigh County, several teachers, parents, and students came together to show their support. They stood out in front of the Raleigh County Courthouse in Shoemaker Square for 3 hours this morning. According to Chief Deputy Perdue, it is illegal to carry a gun on school property in West Virginia, but we wanted your opinion on the possibility of arming teachers. So let's take a look at what a few of you guys wrote. Rob says, "I think they should have security officers and metal detectors. They already keep the doors locked, and I think this would secure schools best."
Desk update from 59 News.
Our winter weather desk is activated as snow covers our region today. This is a 59 News winter weather special. I'm Megan Carr, and Storm Tracker 59 meteorologist Alita Donnelly. You've been tracking this storm for a couple of days. So what are we seeing right now? We are seeing a heavy wet snow. You heard Alita talking about it. People are concerned about power outages. Joining us now is AEP spokesman Phil Moy. So Mr. Moy, thank you for joining us. And everybody in West Virginia knows it could be a completely different story in another county. So let's send it up north now to Casey Gentile. She's live in Greenboro County. So Casey, how are the conditions? Both of those parents grew up in southern West Virginia. David and Louise Turpin are being held on $9 million bond. The children were rescued after one of the children, a 17-year-old, managed to escape. When police arrived, they discovered the children were malnourished and several of them were shackled to their beds with chains and padlocks. Actually, right around this corner, the American Red Cross is already starting to set up because we're actually starting the blood drive in about 20 or so minutes. And as you guys know, we've talked about for several days, the U.S. is bracing for another massive storm. Hurricane Irma is barreling toward the Florida coast, but we're still recovering from Hurricane Harvey, and a lot of the blood banks across the nation were depleted because of Harvey. Sure, I am in the middle of all the action. I am here at the sold-out Humps and Heels event. It's at the Beckley Moose Lodge. It actually just began a few minutes ago, and I'm going to step aside because, again, you need to see all of this action. People are actually still coming through. It started about 6 o'clock. I do want to add again that all the money raised here tonight goes to the Women's Resource Center to help them to continue to combat domestic violence. Dwayne Lane is now accused of first-degree murder after prosecutors say he set his then-fiancée Belinda Cox on fire, killing her. Family members tell us Cox died Wednesday night after fighting for her life in the West Penn Burn Center in Pittsburgh. Hiding his face in court, Lane only spoke when the magistrate asked him if he needed an attorney.
I want one appointed.
Police say this case started back on September 17th after Lane got into a fight with Belinda, and during the fight, he threw gasoline on her and then set her on fire. Doctors say more than 70% of her body was burned. Lane then ran from the house, and it was Belinda's children who had to put out the fire and call 911. Now, this case has grabbed the public's attention, and I talked to the assistant prosecutor in the case, and he says what happened to Belinda is unique to other murder cases.
The facts as they've been described so far are pretty horrifying, and no, I've not seen anything come through our office in the recent past that would match this.
Lane was arrested after a manhunt and was found in an empty apartment with gasoline-soaked clothes, lighters, and grooming tools. According to Beckley police, Cox died as a result of cardiac arrest. Her nurse told police Cox's death was the direct result of her burns. Reporting in Raleigh County, Megan Carr, 59 News. Close to 200 public school employees packed into a small room at the Career and Technical Center in Pineville to discuss their options.
I also understand that you're scared and worried
about what may happen if we say the S word.
They're following several bills moving through the legislature: the proposed 1% pay raise, PIA changes, and a bill known as SB 8 that will change seniority in public schools. Lisa Workman is a teacher at Baileysville Middle School, and she says the changes to PIA are unacceptable, starting with a mandatory Go 365 program that tracks lifestyles of its participants.
It's going to track our sleep, it's going to track our exercise, and if we go to gyms and all this stuff. And when I took the questionnaire, it asked me questions that were really unfair. And I think they were, and it kind of fat shames you. So if you aren't within their range, then you're going to pay a higher premium than somebody else who might have the same dependents as you.
We were asked to leave towards the end of the meeting. Behind these closed doors, teachers, custodians, and bus drivers are talking about the possibility of a strike. The reasons? They say the governor's 1% pay raise increase and the possibility of losing their seniority.
The seniority bill is quite a concern for me, simply because, I was once riffed because I was brand new, and I was okay with that because that was how we did it. And I worry, that the security won't be there.
As educators, we've not had competitive pay with the states surrounding us in a long time.
Tina Adams, a teacher at Baileysville Elementary Middle School and also the West Virginia Education Association union representative, says she has worked for 15 years and this year she makes $30 less per paycheck. To make up for those lost wages, she has to work second jobs.
I do after-school tutoring. In the past, I've been teaching alternative school, just little things.
Teachers here say they just want to be competitive with surrounding states. According to the National Education Association, in 2017, West Virginia was ranked 48th nationwide in teacher salaries. Reporting in Wyoming County, Megan Carr, 59 News.